Izzy's a wild motherfucker. He's got his shirt off in the nightclub, women everywhere. I'm immediately like, I love this motherfucker. And we're just talking shit.
I don't see myself ever fighting Israel. You know, even though a lot of people have kind of be hinting towards it, they're like, yeah, you guys need to fight. You guys need to fight. I don't see myself fighting him. You know,
there's plenty of people
having
fight.
plenty of people. Having 2 belts in Nigeria is better than just having one guy holding 2 belts.
Yeah, he's a tough fight, man. I'm stoked to fight him. He's a hard fight. He's so good, and he only looked better in his last fight. You know, and the fact he beat me once already.
So the Anderson Silva fight, there wasn't much action there, right? And it could have kind of gone either way. There wasn't a lot there. So, you know, in that fight, I was like, well, Anderson didn't really push the fight. And then in the Robert Whittaker fight, Robert Whittaker was lunging in from outside, and I was like, well, Robert didn't really show up. He had a terrible game plan. And then the Yoel Romero fight, as we all know, it was kind of lackluster or whatever. We saw Paulo Costa, a guy that was undefeated, a guy that had all the hype. He hit incredibly hard. He was scared of Israel's speed, scared of his accuracy. Costa didn't do a goddamn thing, and I don't see anybody beating Israel Adesanya in the near future.
He's really good fighter, you know, amazing fighter, but I'm better. I will stop him if they make this fight. He's gonna feel legendary Polish power like everybody. So it's not easy fight for Adesanya. It's gonna be harder fight. So that's gonna be amazing, you know, because when I beat him, he's gonna remember me to end of his life, you know, because I'm gonna be the first one who beat him in MMA.
When you see how dominant he is at 185, of course you think, okay, well, maybe he could go up to 205 and take that belt there. The only thing against that, the only thing that I would say is against Adesanya doing that is that he isn't the biggest middleweight, even though he towers above people because he's so tall at 6'4", but he's not the heaviest, right? And if he goes up to light heavy, I think he walks around at like 195 or something like that. It doesn't get much heavier than 195. Like look at Blachowicz and Reyes. They're going to be 235, something like that, 240. And Jones is probably 245, 250.
I don't think a long, lean middleweight would present me much problem, especially once I got my hands on him and put him to the ground. Yeah. People can eat up what he's saying, but the truth of the matter is he's scared today.
Right now, if I'm looking at them both frame to frame, Jones is considerably bigger, and Jones can wrestle pretty damn good. Izzy's only got 2 years in the sport, and his grappling, I don't know if it's there yet, you know, because we haven't seen it. You know, I can't say it is or it isn't, because I just haven't seen a guy push him to that level in wrestling, or he hasn't fought like a pure wrestler that could show me that, you know. So right now, I would lean towards Jones being able to take him down and control him and things like that.
I've been winning world championships, you know, since, you know, he was getting knocked out overseas, you know, fighting for $5,000. You know, I've been doing this for years at the highest level. World championship fight after world championship fight. I'm so far ahead when it comes to, I mean, you name it. In every sense of this game, I'm so far ahead of this kid. So the fact that I'm even talking about him right now is flattery to a boy that doesn't deserve me to be talking about.
Israel has excellent takedown defense, but Jones also has good takedown offense as well as defense. So, listen, it's not disrespectful to Israel to say this, but you got to go with Jones. You know what I mean?
All these guys, Costa, Whittaker, who we think are the greatest fighters in the world today, how are they not able to compete with this guy when Anderson can and go fight 3 rounds with him? It shows you how special Silva is, but also maybe is he still improving at such an alarming rate that now he's knocking these guys out that are the best fighters in the world in under 10 minutes? Like, I don't know how he's doing it, man. It's crazy. Paulo Costa is as good as they come, and Izzy made him look like a rank amateur. It was a pro versus an amateur out there. It was not competitive. There was no second of that fight where you thought Costa had a chance.
I didn't see when I was there on the cage, but I saw now. I disapprove 100%. And to me, this is mortal now. Nobody will stop me. Nobody can stop me. I am on hot of collision with you, Adesanya. I want my rematch. And you know I'm waiting for you. Something happened before the fight. I'm not excused here to my people, my fans, but
yeah, 100%. That's him. That's him. He's not putting on a show. He's not putting on an act. Like 100%, that's the guy. You put a fly on the camera. You put a camera on the wall. He's gonna be the same every morning, every afternoon. Like that's just what the guys are like.
Izzy's one of the best counter strikers in the entire world. He can counter, and that's what happened with Robert Whittaker. Remember, Robert Whittaker brought it to him. He tried to go forward, and he got knocked out. He put himself in trouble at the end of the first round, got dropped, and the fight was pretty much over. Second round, he went right back to that and got dropped with that left hook that put him to sleep. So, damn. If I do bring the pressure, this dude can knock me out. So Paulo Costa goes, I'm going to fight every urge, every fight and every instinct that I have to go and chase this dude down. I'm going to fight that, and I'm going to stay at range and be more patient. Damn, because I didn't, right? So it's damned if you do, Robert Whittaker, and it's damned if you don't, Paulo Costa, because if you stay at range, he is going to pick you apart.
Your honest opinion, is Israel Adesanya able to be this next big superstar of the UFC? What do you think?
I think he already superstar right now. He's very good. Like he undefeated 20-0. He beat a lot of tough guys. He beat Gastelum, Whittaker, Costa. It's like he defended his title twice. Or he already big star.
I think that's that little feud between Izzy and Jon Jones. First of all, it elevates Izzy because all these people that didn't know who he was, like, why is Jon Jones talking shit to? Oh, look at this motherfucker! Holy shit, he's good. And then they watch his fights and go, "This is why Jon Jones is talking shit to him because he starched Robert Whittaker."
I've got a lot of respect for Israel. I think he's a great fighter. You know what? This is no disrespect to him. I think he's probably an easier fight for me than Rob because we both had that. We'd probably have a great striking battle. Rob's a bit different because he mixes it up. I know Israel. Israel's the champion. He's a great MMA fighter, but he's a pure striker. I think we'd have a great fight.
And I want that fight for legacy. I've spoke about Anfield, my hometown, the Liverpool Football Club, and that's a legacy fight for me. I've said this before here on these tables. Forget the belt. Obviously, if me and him fight, the belt's up, but it's the fight with me and him that I know it's gonna be. It will, honestly, I swear to God, I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I think Adesanya is the best light heavyweight in the world right now. Not much less the best middleweight in the world. I think he's the best light heavyweight in the world.